It's just now 7 o'clock, so just giving folks a moment to get here, including the applicant. So. Speaking though, I got a flyer for the new taco place on Sherman Avenue if anybody's tried to go. So they're open.
Oh, really? I must have
Yeah.
just opened.
I'm assuming they're open. You know what? It doesn't say on the flyer that they, grand opening or anything. So maybe they're just letting people know, but I did pick it up.
Yeah, they didn't come down as far as my block, but I walked by there not too long ago and it was still not open.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't mean that it hasn't opened recently.
Yeah.
What address is that again?
It is, hold on, I got it right here in front of me. 2905 Sherman Avenue.
Right across the street from the Pepco substation.
Oh, that's right. Very close to me, I guess. Yeah.
Pintixos, Pintxos tacos.
Yeah,
And
it used to be a sandwich shop.
reasonable pricing. So I'll have to give it a shot. All right, well, let's gonna get things rolling here. I'm gonna share my screen. Welcome everyone. That's not what I want to share. Okay, Dimitri, thank you. Oh, there it is. Okay, sorry. It's taking me a minute there. Window looks different. I hate it when they change the setup on these things. All right, welcome everyone. My name is Michael Ray. I'm the chair of ANC 1E's Zoning Economic Development Committee. So I'll be walking us through our agenda here real quick, and then we'll see who else has a chance to join. First, the verification is that this meeting was noticed to the community via listserv, social media, our website, and our e-calendar. Our website is anc1e.org. You can go there to sign up for our email newsletter, which comes out once a month to remind you about this meeting, our general body meeting, and any other announcements that we may have. We will go through community announcements, give anyone that may have something that they would need to bring to the attention of the committee an opportunity to speak, and then we will move into official business. We have one zoning BZA case for 723 Morton Street LLC. This is a modification to a zoning request that they had done 2 years ago. And then we will take a look at the list of the ABCA cases for 1E. Those are liquor licenses and medical cannabis licenses, new applications for those things. So I will make mention, sorry, that we are joined this evening by Patrick Nelson, Tony Norman, and Dimitri McDaniel on the committee. Welcome, everyone. And just looking here, sorry, stop sharing so much. All right, and I'm not seeing any other committee members that are here. So first order of business, does anyone on the panel have any announcements for the community? None? I was saying before that there is a new taco place on Sherman Avenue if anybody wants to try it. 2905 Sherman Avenue. So give them a check. I have the flyer in front of me. And if anyone that is here this evening that's not here for official business, if you have something that you wanted to bring to the attention of the committee, you can raise your hand and I can recognize you. Otherwise, we will move on. Not seeing any hands raised. I'm going to promote the architect. Stop sharing that. Mo, is that you? You're muted, Mo.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
Doing
This is
well,
Mo.
thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I
Thank
know
you.
I spoke to Marty Sullivan that he was going to try to join this evening. I don't necessarily see him on the call yet. I don't know if that matters to you at this point.
No, I think he was driving, he said. He's on the road, so he was going to try to join from his phone.
Okay.
So if you don't see him, we can proceed
Yeah,
with
I
our.
don't see him on yet. So if you want to continue, you can have you
Sure.
should be able to share your screen if you want to walk us through. Let me just say to the new members, I shouldn't say new members, because they were members mostly from 1B before. So this case came before 1A 2 years ago. So we've reviewed it. We made some changes with the architect here, the architect and owner / owner, and it went to the BZA with our approval. And it was given BZA approval as well, but unfortunately they've come into a roadblock and they have to come back and ask for a variance. So I'll let Mo talk about the variance, but I just wanted to set the stage that some of us have seen this before, and we've kind of gone through the motions, but we need to look at this one new piece. So take it away.
Sure. So basically, as Michael explained the history, we almost 2 years ago we went to the BZA to ask for a special exception, basically for a variance to subdivide the lot into 2 lots. The BZA came back and asked us if we can do a special exception because the next door neighbor has a small lot of land that we can actually buy from them. And this will qualify us for a special exception. So that's what we did at that time. We negotiated with the next door neighbor, and we put together a contract for sale for the 6-inch piece of land between us and the next door neighbor. We went back to BZA. We got approval for a special exception to subdivide the land based on having the 6-inch piece as part of our lot. Fast forward, we actually went through our subdivision, received approval. We received all of our permits, and we were getting ready to start construction on that lot. And the city came back that there was an error on the subdivision. So there was an error that was done on the subdivision, and they need to undo the subdivision and redo it. At that time, the neighbor, we needed some more paperwork from him, and he got, I don't blame him. He got scared of the whole process. There was some mix-up that created some tax issues that we had to untangle. And finally, after close to 6 months dealing with the tax, tax department, DOB, and everything, we untangled everything. Unfortunately, at this point, the next door neighbor doesn't want to proceed with the sale, doesn't want to do any more of the paperwork. So our only choice is to go back to the BZA again and request a variance, which is what we did. So technically nothing changed on the plans we presented 2 years ago to the ANC and to the BZA, except that one of the lots, initially both lots were 16 feet each. So right now one of the lots is 16 feet and the other lot is 15 feet 6, so 6 inches shorter. Other than that, everything remains exactly the same, and I'm happy to kind of go through the drawings if you guys would like to.
I'll give an overview, and I say this to the committee, understanding that we're not necessarily here to review the plans specifically because we're really only talking about that 6 inches. But
yeah, can I get a refresh on the 6 inches one more time? I was listening, but I don't know if I really understood clearly. Who told you to go purchase the 6 inches? Like, how did that come to be?
Well, that was when we went in front of the BZA. Initially, we asked for a variance.
Okay.
And the BZA basically
Office of Planning. You think you mean to say the Office of
Office
Planning?
of Planning,
Yeah.
yeah, basic
Okay.
Office of Planning, exactly.
Office of Planning. Okay,
Office of
that's-
Planning said, you know, you guys can buy the 6 inches from the neighbor, and you'll qualify for special exception, and you don't need a variance, so you should do that.
Okay, so you all pursued that after talking to the Office of Planning, and so
Correct.
you did not pursue the variance at that time. Is that
We
right?
actually presented for the variance, so
You
we
presented
went,
to the variance, and what was the? what
and
was the-
then there was there's no decision in the first presentation about the variance. The feedback we got from the OP, Office of Planning, and then the Board of Zoning is that there's 6 inches you can buy, so this is easier, you should do it.
Well, that's not how that should have gone. Like, that has nothing to do with whether or not you warrant the variance. You're purchasing of a additional 6 inches. That seems hyperly inappropriate of both of those agencies to say that to you.
That's
That's-
because they were trying
It
to make
was-
the lots the right size. That they were trying to eat their way out of a confusion that they didn't want to deal with. That's
And I
what
can understand why that would cause problems for OTR on the back end if you're, you know, the confusion of like when you try to subdivide it. We don't need to necessarily get into all that, but that seems hyperly irregular and kind of inappropriate.
Yeah, it was the whole BZA meeting, the first BZA meeting was a little strange. You know, we kind of went back and forth, and you know, they didn't even honestly they were not sure really about the zoning code, so they had a confusion about the zoning code. Anyhow, we wanted to get things done at that time, and the neighbor was cooperative. Actually, he was happy to get rid of the 6 inch because we were concerned to begin with that there's going to be a 6 inch gap between my property and his property, and this 6 inch gap I cannot build on it, and there's going to be you know, they're going to be, you know, dirt accumulating, and you can't clean it, and there's issues with it. So so at that time the neighbor was, you know, happy to cooperate and and actually sell us that land so that we can move forward and not do it. And then after what happened with the mix up in the subdivision and everything else, you know, he just got scared from the whole
And yeah,
process.
and yeah, just one other question about the subdivision. You said there was an issue from Office of Planning when they created the subdivision plat. Is that
No,
what?
the Office of Surveyor, like
the
on this
surveyor.
project, unfortunately, everything that can go wrong went wrong at this point, you know? So the Office of the Surveyor, we're still trying to figure out really who made the mistake. But between the Office of the Surveyor and the Office of Tax and Revenue, there was a mistake that happened where they ended up recording us all as basically owners in common. So my lot and the neighbor's lot
The whole lot. not just the
became basically, I became an owner of his property on, you know, per tax records, and he became him and his wife became owners of my property. So it was a whole, you know, it was a whole mess basically, and we had to basically undo everything in order to get back to where we were. Effectively, all my permits are invalid at this point.
because they're all referencing this combined
Right,
division.
right, and obviously, you know, the neighbor thought we were doing something wrong, honestly, but we were not. It was just a mistake that happened somewhere in the dark alleys of the BOB and Office of Tax and Revenue. And you know, finally we untangled it, but you know, it's just not you know, the neighbor doesn't want to go through this again.
And now I will admit, I have spoken to the neighbor about this issue. I was aware of the problem once it came to light, and I can confirm that he has no interest in participating in this any longer.
I
So.
can't blame them, really.
I can't blame him either, honestly. I mean, if I were him, I would, you know, I would just not do it again.
Yeah. And Mo, actually, do you want to go ahead and bring it up? It might help people. And I would actually point out that it wasn't, the 6 inches doesn't run the entire length of the property either. It's only for a portion at the front. So I'm a little curious how are you dealing with that architecturally?
Yeah, it's Michael, it doesn't really change much of the plan really. So this is the exterior of the property, as you can see. So let me go to the next one. Okay, so this is our site plan. I'm going to zoom in. So technically the lot is a little shy of 32 feet. So the plan is to subdivide the lot into two lots, lot A and lot B. Lot A would be 16 feet even, and lot B would be 15 feet 4 3/4, a little less than 15 and a half. So lot A will have 2 units, 2/2s. So the basement and first floor would be 1 unit, and the second and third floor would be another unit. And lot B will have also 2 units. One of the units in the basement will be 1 floor, which is going to be an IZ unit, almost 1,100 square feet. And the second unit would be a triplex unit on 3 floor, would be around 2,800 square feet. So that's as far as the site plan. We will have a backyard, 2 rooftop decks on each side. We will have a backyard and 3 parking spots in the back, in the rear from the alley. This is the elevation, and as you can see, we went back and forth at that time with the ANC and Michael, and they had some comments on the elevations that we addressed. I can't recall exactly what the comments are, but I believe it was something regarding the balcony.
But yeah, I was thinking it was the balconies at the time. And as you can see for folks, the properties that now will abut, one is further forward than the other, and so there's a need to kind of blend that, as you can kind of tell.
Yes.
Mo,
So
is there something in the plans though, that kind of shows how are you addressing the 6-inch gap? Is it noticeable? Is it? Okay, so
I don't show it on the plans right
okay,
here. So that's a discussion that I have to undertake with Mario once we get approved,
okay,
because we're gonna have to seal it somehow. So I'll have to get his permission to come back and basically install some sort of
gap.
seal between the two
I see.
buildings.
Okay, yeah.
A seal between the buildings.
Yeah, I mean, because
we-
technically that happens all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
when it was next door, there are parts of where my property, they just closed it in, and so there's this air gap, but I don't see it from the outside because it's all been encased.
Yeah, we're gonna have an air gap, but we can come back and seal it with with drywall, or with something on the exterior. So so that's that. I mean, the floor plan can go through the floor plans too. This is the on this side on lot A, you have we have the first unit, so the IZ unit, unit B1, which is going to be a 2-bedroom unit with 2 bathrooms, and on lot A, this is on lot B. On lot A, we'll have 2 2/2 units. Each one would be 4 bedrooms, and I believe 4.5 bathroom. On lot B, we will have a triplex unit, which is on a 5-bedroom and 4.5 bath. And each one of the 2 units, the upper units will have a small rooftop deck overlooking the backyard. Now, these are the elevations. And this is the back elevation where you have access from the units down to.
Good. Mo, the only other, it has nothing to do with this necessarily, but there is a curb cut in front of the property that was actually installed illegally. Have you thought about, is there any way for you to address that? I know it requires kind of going to DDOT, but it would make for a nicer facade of the building if it doesn't look like there's a driveway going right up into your property. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think we lost him.
I think we may have lost him. Yeah, we'll give it a second.
I would say though that an easement with the neighbor might be easier than purchasing the land. And
Yeah.
So-
It would still unfortunately require a signature and
yeah, but you wouldn't have to deal with the tax issue necessarily.
yeah. Mo, are you still there? Can you hear us? You're muted, Mo.
You did.
Sorry, my computer froze. I was trying to restart
It's
it.
fine. It's fine. What I was asking about was it's not really related so much to the plans specifically, but there's that illegally installed curb cut in front of the building, and I was asking whether or not that was something you've given any thought to trying to put back to a regular sidewalk. You'd have to still work. You'd have to work with the city and DDOT in public space to get
No,
it.
we already got the permit for that to
Oh, you
remove
did? Oh,
that.
fantastic. Very good.
Yeah. We're removing it and we're redoing the sidewalk.
Good.
So yeah, we already got the permit for that.
Okay, I appreciate that as well. See, this is all working out. I'll just say for the committee, the neighbors around here would like to see nothing more than this property be developed to get rid of this empty lot, which only accumulates trash from time to time. And to have an ISE, I think is a big plus to the whole thing. So, any questions from anyone?
We need your support on the BZA case, please.
And I
This
will.
has been agonizing to me personally. I mean, I want to build it, but I was ready to build it 6-8 months ago.
I know you, and I saw the permits come through, and I got really excited. I will do everything I can to be there in case the committee has any questions. I would really like that to be a one and done meeting if we can make it. So
Appreciate that.
I'm sorry. Do any of my fellow committee members have any other questions?
Nothing for me.
Very good. Tony, I muted you. I'm not sure if you, just so you were aware in case you had any questions.
I'm good.
Okay, very good.
No, can I just ask one quick question? I was looking at the
Sure.
exhibit. I'm not sure I understand how you're getting the entrance to the units. I can't tell from your drawings. They're all from the front, and you go into like a vestibule and then downstairs to get into the bottom unit, or is that through the rear?
Yes, you're correct. You're basically have all the entrances are from the front. So you go up like a kind of a Porsche, and then you either go up to the upper unit or you go down to the lower unit.
That's what I thought. I just couldn't tell on the drawings.
Yes, that is correct.
Great. Anything else? Does anyone have a motion?
I will put a motion in that the committee recommend to the full ANC that it support case number 20631A for 723 Morton Street for the modification of significance to board order number 20631 that was effective April 17th of 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Is there a second?
Second. Tony can second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. That is 4 to 0 to 0. I saw all 4 hands. So Mo, we will basically write up a draft resolution for the full ANC. The full ANC meets in 2 weeks, and that is where we will then vote as the body to approve that draft resolution to to eventually send to the BZA. So you do not need to plan to present again at the full ANC. If you want to come and watch, in case there is a question, you can feel free to, of course, do that. But we often don't have any further discussion on those matters. That is the point of having these committee meetings, to make things go a little smoother at the main meeting. But that's kind of our process. Any questions about that?
No, thank you.
All right, like I said, yeah, definitely make sure I know when you're due to have your actual meeting, and I will plan to try to participate. So good luck.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye. You too.
All right, committee members, we have one other piece of business, and that is just to quickly look over the cases. And this is the document that I put up on the website. It is time once again in the every 3 years for the liquor licenses to renew the liquor stores. So full Class A liquor and liquor stores. So Harvard Liquors, Giant Liquors, A&W Liquor, W&S Liquor, and I just got Lions Liquor the other day. So that one didn't make it on the list, but it just came in. So does anyone on the committee know of any issues that we're having at any of the liquor stores? I'm a little more familiar with those here on the north end of the neighborhood. Anything that anyone would report from the south end?
Michael, what is the change for Chuck's? What are they
Chuck's
changing?
is adding an entertainment endorsement. Has anyone heard about that or talked to them about that?
No, I haven't, but I'd like to make sure that Philip explains that, because Chuck's has
Okay.
been an issue in the past, and I want to make sure I understand what it is that they're planning on doing with their quote unquote entertainment.
Yes, yeah, and I won't try to repeat the details, but yeah, it's a change to add an entertainment endorsement. It may involve both indoor and outdoor spaces, so I will send a note to Phil and have him follow up.
If it's outdoor spaces, we've got a problem, because they don't have any outdoor.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could be wrong on the outdoor, but I always think that there could be is there anything on the back end? Is there any kind of a balcony or a?
Not that I'm aware of, unless
Okay.
you constructed one illegally,
I've been by that property, but
That doesn't surprise me either, because that's happened in the past, but no, I don't believe so.
Yeah, and I think with a lot of the liquor stores, we have agreements. The ANC already has in place agreements with most of these, so I think we're in pretty good stead with a lot of them. So I think we'll continue to not bring anything forward, but I will definitely make sure that Commissioner Newland is aware of the Chuck's change. He got it too, so he is aware. So make sure your neighbors know as well, Patrick.
Okay.
Thanks.
One other comment, just as a side note, not that it's on this list, but I just found out yesterday or the day before yesterday that our problem child, the Medusa Lounge, which we went round and round and round and round and round,
Yeah.
has been evicted.
Oh no. Oh
Yes.
no.
They have not been paying their rent, and they owed the landlord, who I know personally,
Yeah.
over $100,000. So he finally
Wow.
took down and took them in, and they were evicted. So as of the middle of, they were noticed and summoned on I believe he said the end of February, and as of March they're gone, they're closed.
Okay.
But he's planning, and I've not had a chance to talk to Josh yet because he's on vacation, but he's planning on trying to put in an application so that he can take over running it himself, the owner.
Okay. Yeah, I mean he can buy that liquor license from them and go ahead and use it, and everything that we agreed to would transfer with that license. So
I'm not sure that, I mean, I don't think he's going to want to do that, because he's had some real issues with the previous owners. So I don't think that they're
going to see eye to eye. Yeah, they'll just apply.
but
Understood.
they've kind of gone in the wind, so to speak. So unless Abra has some authority to say, yes, we'll legally allow you to do this, I think he's gonna end up having to do it on his own.
Yeah, there's just apply on. All right, well, that was the formal agenda. Does anyone have anything that they wanted to bring forward or talk about? Well, then I appreciate your time this evening. That was very helpful.
Did we approve
every-
the minutes for last month?
You know, I've been bad about not writing those up, but I will get the minutes written up at some point here and just have us approve them as a slate.
Okay, no worries.
We've basically had one case a night, so it hasn't been a whole lot of,
Yeah,
and it hasn't been hard to keep track of. But thank you to each of you.
no worries.
All right, everyone, have an enjoyable evening, and I will see you all next month.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Good night.
Night.